Hey, everybody, we are live right now. I am Jacqueline Strominger. I am the host of Unstoppable Success, the podcast where we hear from influential leaders or game changing insights. And today, I actually want to share with you a really great friend of mine, Della Washington. And Della Washington is actually the founder of a great product called Heavyfoot. She has loads of great experience, but she is also somebody who deals with sarcoidosis. And so, what we wanted to talk about today, because it is sarcoidosis month, I wanted to bring Della on to talk about how you don't need to let sarcoidosis hold you back. And for that matter, you don't need to let anything hold you back. So, Della, welcome to Unstoppable Success.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate you having me here and giving me the opportunity to talk about sarcoidosis and how you can also move forward in your life with your dreams and continue to live a great life.
Right. Okay. So, I have a question for you. Ooh, Della, where'd you go? Della, you got to come back on. One moment, please. So while Della is coming back on, um, I wanted to share with you, Della actually, as I said earlier, uh, uh, is the founder of Heavyfoot. And so as she's back, okay, she's back. But Heavyfoot is a great product. So go to her website and check it out. So Della, let's talk about sarcoidosis as you were sharing. Can you please first explain to everybody what sarcoidosis is? Because I don't think it's not a commonly heard, I don't think, ailment. We can't
No,
hear
it
you,
is
Della.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
So, oops, sorry.
No, you're good.
Let me get this out of the way for you. Hello? Can you
We
hear
can
me?
hear.
Can you hear
Yes,
me
we
now?
can. We can.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So sarcoidosis, basically what it is when your granulomas in your body uh, create an inflammatory areas of your body. Like first of all, it started in the lungs with some people. Mine started in the brain, and what it does, it's an inflammatory disease that is a rare disease, and it affects every organ in your body from your skin to your nails to your heart, your liver, your kidneys, your stomach, just everywhere. Your eyes. I had it in my eyes when I first was diagnosed. I went blind for 6 months because I had a tumor behind my left eye, which I thought was an infection at first. And then they did the biopsy and looked at it, and it was a tumor of the sarcoidosis behind my left eye. So
Wow.
yeah, and then spread to the rest of my brain. So it's considered in the it's considered in the I'm a neural sarcoidosis person, and then you have the pulmonary, and then you have, like I said, the heart, the liver, the stomach, the skin, everywhere. So neural meaning that my sarcoidosis is in the central nervous system.
Okay.
So, and that's why it affects every area, and that's why they put me at a stage 4 for sarcoidosis.
Okay. So stage 4 is
Mhm.
just like cancer stages, and so are you in a remission period, or so explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm now in remission. I was diagnosed in 1999, which at that time it wasn't very well known. There was nowhere to go to find out the information on it. My doctors just happened to have some great doctors at that time, and I was the fourth person in uh, in the United States that was diagnosed with neurosarcoidosis. And
Wow.
so, yeah, and so I had research done at Stanford, UCLA, and University of San Francisco.
Okay.
So At the beginning with sarcoidosis, they only at first they said I had 4 months to live.
Wow.
And so I was like, no, you, that's just me. I'm just like, I don't feel that way. And no, you need 4 months to figure out how you're going to treat it.
Right.
So, so I went through extensive treatment with steroids, with what I want to say, intravenous steroids that I had to wear for 6 months. And then steroids just did not agree with me. So I had, let's see, my sugar levels went high. I got asthma. I also, the cramps, the body cramps that you get, the leg cramps you get from sports, mine would cramp up the whole body all at once. My arms, my legs, my stomach, everything, and I just could not move. So we had to get me off of steroids and put me on methotrexate, which is something that is used for cancer patients.
Okay.
So then they did, and now I'm up to 15 pills a day.
15
So
pills?
it's a 15 pills a day. Oh yeah. So
And
because
so what
then
are
as
what are
years
all
went
the
on,
pills for? So what are all the pills for?
the pills are to keep me in remission,
Okay.
and it's for pain, and it's for to keep the inflammation down. Let's see, now I've got, what actually happened was my whole left side was affected. So it was like having a stroke on your left side, and where you can't move or walk or anything. So, you go through a lot of physical therapy. So, and I've had 2 TIAs, which is your smaller strokes. So, and then what they try to do with the medication is to keep you from having all those symptoms. So
Got
you,
Mhm.
to where I'm able to walk and use all my limbs in a good way. However, sometimes I was using a cane to begin with, so sometimes I use a cane and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
So, and they always keep an eye on your eyesight, making sure you're not having residuals from that. Then you have diabetes. You can get diabetes from it. And so I got diabetes. So I'm taking diabetes medication for that. 2 medications for asthma. Uh, let's see. Yeah, it's like 4 medications for diabetes. And then the rest is pain, inflammation. I used to have night seizures. So I'm on medication for that and making sure I'm not having seizures. And yeah, there's just a lot that comes with it. The skin redness, your allergies are over exasperated,
Mhm.
so I can get skin itches where I get lumps that are red and big, and so I have to take medication for that as well. So
Wow. So Della, but sarcoidosis, obviously this affects how many people does it affect every, now? Like, is it, people have realized that it's so
yeah, it's growing. It's growing every year now that they know what to look for. So you have your like the people from 9/11, the guys from 9/11. So they're being diagnosed with sarcoidosis as well. So, and then you have athletes, you have uh, actors, actresses that are diagnosed with sarcoidosis. Bernie Mac passed away from pulmonary sarcoidosis. So, and so there's his foundation as well. And the Foundations for Sarcoidosis Research, at the time that I was diagnosed, that wasn't around. So I had to do a lot of research to find out what was going on with my body and what
right,
the doctors were telling me. So
right.
then the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research came about in 2001. So, and it was from a woman in Chicago who had been diagnosed with sarcoidosis as well, and they had misdiagnosed her for about 8 years because this just was not a wide known disease. So even at first, when I was diagnosed with MS. And so, but then they had to go and look at it again and say, no, that's not it. It does run like MS, but it wasn't MS.
Hmm. So it's similar. So just
Mhm.
kind of go back. What were your initial symptoms?
So my initial symptoms was all of a sudden I started having bloody noses. Never
Huh.
had bloody nose before. And so then I was at a party and get this, a bounce house party. And I was
Okay.
playing in the bounce house with the kids. And so I got out of the bounce house, and all of a sudden it felt like someone had hit me in the head. Then I started to go, started having problems with my left eye. I couldn't see, so I thought I had an infection. And so instead, they found out what it was after doing the biopsies.
Interesting. Right.
And
Wow.
mhm,
Really. That's well, so obviously you've been now living this with sarcoidosis for 27 years.
yes,
And um you are obviously quite capable. You have not let it as hold you back.
nope.
So I think this is actually really important because that's kind of what makes people sort of unstoppable. So what do you think it is about you, or what is it that keeps you going so that you don't get enveloped by sarcoidosis, so to speak?
So my mental thinking is, okay, yeah, I got sarcoidosis. However, sarcoidosis doesn't have me.
Uh,
So, therefore, if I have something I want to do, I'm going to do it. And I've always been that way since I was a kid. I've always been where, if I'm going to go out for a sport, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my best at it. So I've always been that way. If something bad happens, it's like, okay, suck it up and move on. So, because you can make things better. It doesn't have to be the end of everything because somebody says, "Well, you've got this and this is what's going to happen." Well, you know what? It's really not your choice, it's my choice. And my higher power's choice of what's going to happen. So I'm going to stick with that, and you're another human being on this earth just like me. So I've learned to just have a mind of my own in a sense. And just, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it right.
right.
So I went ahead and got my bachelor's after that and graduated top of my class. Then I went ahead and got my master's, still graduated top class. When I got another master's, I still graduated top class because I did what I wanted to do and I wanted to make things better for me and to put me in a better position to where, yeah, I had to stop working for a while because it just beat up my body.
Right.
So I wanted to be in a position to where I could dictate what I can do and what I'm going to do.
Right. So I love that attitude. And so listeners, actually, I think this is actually a really key thing is that, mindset, we talk about mindset, we hear about mindset. Your mindset really matters. If you want to get something done, you have to put forth the mind to say that you are going to get it done, and not sit in oh woe's me mode, but think about how you can actually turn it around to help others. And so Della, you got involved with the sarcoidosis foundation, and s- and
Yes.
this
Yeah.
and this and this is National Sarcoidosis Month.
Yes. April is sarcoidosis month, and so we go through and we do webinars. I've worked as a patient advocate. I've been on a board. I've learned a lot, and it has grown to where it has better medications for us. I had gone back to DC to talk about orphan drugs, drugs that we should be able to to use, being that we have the same symptoms. So I talked to a couple of congressmen and senators and got them to sign up on the caucus. And I know we were supposed to go in there with a script. I was supposed to go in there with a script, but I was off script the whole time. I I just told them exactly what was going on. This is what it's about. And it's just not about sarcoidosis patients, but it's about patients everywhere of any rare disease that they have. We should be able to, if the doctors feel that we are the same, running the same type of symptoms as other diseases, why not be able to use those drugs? We shouldn't have to be penalized because they have a rare disease. And so I was just, I talked to like Garamundi. I got Garamundi to sign on. He just said, okay, but we're going to do this and I'm going to try and find help for you.
Well, that's fantastic.
So,
That's great. And being an advocate is so important for other people, and that's actually a really key thing is as listeners, as you're thinking about what you're doing in your life, if you can help advocate for other people, that is absolutely, it comes back to you, tenfold. So Della, obviously it's Sarcoidosis Awareness Month, but I want to talk because I want our listeners to understand, again, you have not let this hold you back. You went on, obviously, as you shared, you continued your education, you've gotten 2 masters, and now you're actually forging ahead with a brand new company that you've had in place. So tell us about your company and what it did and what inspired you.
So, what inspired me to invent the Heavyfoot weight, once again, advocating for someone else, for kids and making sure that they are safe in bounce houses. When a little girl had died when a bounce house went airborne into the electrical wires, I'm like, got to do something about this. And so I came up with the idea after doing research and seeing what they were using. And then the other reason why too is I wanted to get back to work. I have not. I got my first job when I was 13 years old because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I was determined. Even though my parents said no, I would.
Child labor laws right now. Just letting you know.
No. This was in Wisconsin, so it's good. Yeah, it was a special work program, and so I just always been a worker. I've always, always about being independent. And so that's what I wanted to get back was my independence. And I found that this was something advocating at the same time and getting my independence back. And so doing something that helped others is something I always like to do. I've always been a volunteer my whole entire life. At the age of 16, I received a service award for volunteer work. And so it's something that I've always done. And I feel that if you can do something for others, that's quite fulfilling as well.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I put together. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for listeners, so Heavyfoot weight, just to give you, is an actual weight. It comes in different sizes, and what is really remarkable about what Della designed, and she invented this, is that it actually has it's a weight that has a stake and a locking pin. So things that you have that could go airborne. So it's not just for bounce houses, right? It is a weight that your inflatables that you have for the holidays. It's a weight that will secure your kayak, your canoe, any of those things that if you're beaching it or at a beach. It will also secure, those pop-up tents that you bring to the beach. It will secure your camping tents. It will, secure tree stands. It is a great weight that actually truly locks in place. Those most tents, bounce houses, you name it, come with very flimsy stakes. And this is actually a great way to actually use a great steak that's actually going to hold something in place and weigh it down. And now there's Della was also very instrumental in helping pass a new law called Lizzie's Laws, which actually requires bounce houses to have a certain amount of weight around the bounce houses so that they don't go airborne. But this is a great product, and has, it comes in, different sizes, but really fantastic for, as we like to say, or I should say, as Della says, securing safety, securing fun.
Mhm.
We secure fun,
Yes.
secures fun with the Heavyfoot weight. So Della,
Right.
your product is, I love that you have not let sarcoidosis hold you back, but and your product actually does remarkable, it, you know, it does a remarkable service for, lots of different people. I mean, including anybody who's like a vendor at an outdoor event. Instead of using sandbags, it's a
Right.
really fantastic alternative. And as you said, you went back, it helped you go back to work and do something that is good. How do
Yes.
you find, do you find now that that sarcoidosis hinders you in any way?
Only when going through like we have an issue and we're talking about the Foundation for Sarcoidosis talks about this with patients is going through when you're just extremely tired. It's like your body just you're just going through your a cycle of just being tired. And you have to push a little harder. So, to be able to get done what you wanna get done, and sometimes you have a painful day, where, like my left side and my left ankle because you also have arthritis and you've got, things that you're dealing with, and sometimes you just have to suck it up and just keep going. And then when you have that time to sit down, then sit down and take time out for yourself. You gotta do that. So, but with sarcoidosis and being able to show others that life isn't over, it's just a new chapter of what's
Mhm.
going on with your life. So, and just, learning from the events that you've been through, you want to try and make things better and try to stay more positive because that positive energy is what's going to keep you going each day.
Yeah, right.
So,
That positive energy is so important and it really matters, so even, to have unstoppable success, you have to have that positive energy, and Della, you truly embody that. So if what is a tip that you could give to somebody right now who maybe, either feeling stuck or not feeling at their best, or maybe they're also suffering from some ailment, maybe it's not sarcoidosis or something else,
mhm.
what would you tell them?
um, Positive, and one way of if you're in that mode where you're just like, I just don't watch something that's funny, you know? Watching something that's funny and you're able to laugh at it builds your energy up, gets your energy flowing, gets your thoughts flowing, gets that positive energy going and that those endorphins going. Just stay where you can be happy. And
Mhm.
that helps you have better days and more, better days. And, you can get through whatever it is you're going through, you know, um, staying with, being with your higher power as well. And also just, not letting others uh, say or define you, I should say. Don't let others define you. You define you because you know more of what's going on than anybody else.
Right. And that's actually a really great point. I mean, you define you. Don't let anybody or anything define who you are. You are, and I say this all the time, you're the CEO of you. And so be the CEO of you and decide how you want to show up. Even, life is a roller coaster journey, right? It's
Mhm.
not an even straight up or linear line. It's always, you got highs and lows. So don't let
Right.
the don't let those lows define you. That's
Right.
really important. So Della, what are
Hmm.
some of the other, symptoms as we're talking about sarcoidosis? What are like some signs that people might need to look for, uh, that might say, hey, you know what, I need to investigate this a bit more.
Yeah. Seeing if, like, one of the things that I had also, I was going through an airport, and because I was flying back to Wisconsin, and all of a sudden I couldn't walk. I mean, I just could not get myself moving, and I'm just like, what's going on? I walk pretty fast, and I was just going slow and having a problem breathing and couldn't figure out what was going on. And a lot of it is if you are getting lumps on your skin, that's another one. Um, Going to the doctor and asking for certain tests. I mean, they had to do a couple of MRIs on me before they could see it in the brain.
Okay.
So sometimes it takes a little time, and then you want to get us a CT scan also, because the granulomas will light up on that CT scan all
Okay.
over. You'll look like a Christmas tree.
So, yes, so a couple of telltale signs are really being tired,
Mhm.
painful, all of a sudden, as you shared, all of a sudden having some type of vision loss, not
Mhm.
losing movement. Those are obviously some telltale signs, and obviously
Yes.
go see your doctor immediately, because that
Yes.
really matters, right?
Right. And if your doctor does not know about sarcoidosis, send them to the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research, and they can find out, and it'll show different symptoms, people they can talk to find out what's going on with you. And
Right.
because you've got to be your own advocate with your doctors, you got to stay
Yeah.
on top of them and tell them, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I see. Can you send me to a specialist to get this looked at? Don't let them just say, oh, it's probably just no. And if you have to, go to the Foundation for Sarcoidosis and look and talk to their doctors there. They can also help you.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think that's a really good point, and I want to make sure, if we're talking about, obviously healthcare and your health, I cannot say
Mhm.
this enough. And Della just shared this. You have to be the advocate for yourself. Do not wait for a doctor to come up with something. If you still feel that there is something wrong and you keep going back to the doctor and he's telling you they don't see anything, go to another doctor. Do not wait. Do not wait. You need to
Mhm.
actually go and be an advocate for yourself. And to have unstoppable success, you need to advocate for what you believe in. So advocate for yourself 100%. And again, when it comes to healthcare, as doctors are great, but you know
Mhm.
you. And as
Mhm.
if you don't feel that you are getting an answer, go find another doctor. Get second and
Absolutely.
do
Yep.
not wait.
Mhm.
So,
I've had to go to different doctors, and I've had to quit other doctors because they weren't listening. So make
right.
sure they're listening to you.
Yes. And, it's really important, to do that. Um, be your own advocate. You have to be your own advocate. So, Della,
Yes.
you've been dealing with sarcoidosis 27 years. You are rocking it with Heavyfoot weight, which is this amazing invention. How can people and our listeners connect with you to learn more about what you are doing, whether it's sarcoidosis or Heavyfoot weight?
You can go to heavyfootweight.com and check out our website. We'll always update and show new information. Or if you have any questions, just go there. I will definitely answer your questions. Or you can go to my email address, which is dwashington at heavyfootweight.com. You can definitely talk to me anytime about either one. I've always advocated for other patients. When they have questions, I tell them too, and even if they have questions about SSA, going on Social Security disability, that as well,
Right.
because they don't think when when I had to sarcoidosis wasn't well known then, and they didn't know what to do, and I had to advocate for myself on that as well. But I got it taken care of. You stay focused on what it is that you need and want to have done, and you fight them until you get what you need.
Right. So that's really important. So I have Della's website scrolling down at the bottom. Do me a favor, people. Please reach out to Della. She's a wealth of information, and please go check out Heavyfoot
Mhm.
Weight. It is an amazing product as well. And Della is doing great things. As she said, she is a huge proponent of advocating for others. So please, again, go to heavyfootweight.com. Connect with Della. You could also find her on LinkedIn, or you can also email her, as she said, at
Yes.
dwashington@heavyfootweight.com. This is Unstoppable Success. I'm Jacqueline Strominger. And please do me a favor, listeners, share this episode with people that you know and your friends, your family, because it's really important to talk about things that are medical and to have other people be an advocate for you. And lastly, we at Heavyfoot at Unstoppable Success have a brand new school community where you can actually have tips, tricks, and share insights and lessons on school, on Unstoppable Success. It's a great community. So go there. We will put the link to that in the show notes as well. Thank you, Della, for being an amazing guest and for being such a great advocate and for speaking up for those who probably don't, maybe don't have the courage to do what you're doing. So thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.